I have to make this video about my daughter Leonie, right? I only, I'm literally choking to death about this girl. You know, I told you about the birth and about what happened when she was born, but see, when you see your first baby and you cannot believe these arms and legs came from inside me, you know, this wee body. And anyway, when her dad and her were staring at each other, I know this world hates families, right? For some reason, that's what the Illuminati's try to destroy. But see, I'm not exaggerating. See, when they were staring at each other, I felt I was still having afterbirth, you know, and it just fell out of me. I know this sounds a bit squeezy, right? But my whole body changed from they're raping me, they're hurting me, they're doing this to me, and everything changed because there's daddy holding baby, you know. And they were staring at each other, and there was not, you could have snapped your finger in between them and they would still be staring at each other. It was like a connection I've never even seen before, ever, you know. A complete understanding, and, you know, I cannot explain how much I really do know that my mum, Betty McFadden, just ruined that, you know, ruined it so much. And anyway, and then, like I was saying, when she was getting older, and as I cannot express to you enough, all I can say to you is that she was my best friend, you know. I didn't have much to put in her because I was a robot and I was confused, and she had no choice but to stand by me, you know. And because I wouldn't do what my mum said, because I was telling my mum I loved her, I didn't know this was having an effect on my mum like this. My mum literally threw us out of her house after taking us off her dad, causing him a nervous breakdown and to take heroin to cope with the pain overnight. You know, you're not having her and that's it. And to cause him so much pain, and then to throw us out into a high-rise building, the same high-rise building that a mother and her two babies had been setting fire in their house, that my mum used to call on as a Jehovah's Witness. They were becoming Jehovah's Witnesses. And the very few days after we had left that woman's house, Margaret and Louise, my mum had said, oh, we need to get John to fix your door. It's really stuck, and if there was a fire, you wouldn't get out, because you really could not open her front door. No matter what you did, she was at it for 10 minutes trying to get us in and out. Anyway, so I was in this high-rise flat with Leonie, and I cannot explain to you, like, I don't know what came over me, but me and her had this wee sweet bond where I gave her a wee tiny bit of chocolate on my finger, and you know, when they're babies, they just stare and laugh and giggle and stuff. And I used to sing her this song, just what makes that little old ant think she'll move that rubber tree plant, you know. And I used to sing it to her, and she wouldn't even smile. She would just look at me a bit solemnly, as if I know I'm going to lose you, you know. Anyway, I started feeling so suicidal because I thought, they've left us in so much poverty. I can't even afford to feed her proper food because you need a blender, you need this and that, and I was giving her this cardboard food. It was disgusting, you know, and I felt so guilty every time I had to put it in her mouth because it was so disgusting. It stunk, you know. Anyway, it just goes on and it goes worse from there. But the other day she said to me, I was trying to explain to her how I was feeling, and because I'm so exhausted, every word I'm saying right now is, I swear it's so tiring, right? And I thought, if I die and I don't get to tell her this, she said, I texted her and I tried to explain to her how much I love her, and she said, oh, I know that you've got different DNA and that you love Ollie more. Now, I did say to Ollie, you're my favourite, and I said it to her because Leonie told me she was suicidal. You know, if your child is feeling suicidal, you will say anything to that child to stop them. Ollie told me she was going to jump off the roof of a house, you know. You'll say anything to that child to make them realise, no, is those people telling you I don't love you? Of course I love you. Could you ever think I don't love you, you know? That was just... Anyway, through the years, when me and Leonie are together and we go about together, we've just been like one person, you know. She struggles to understand me at times because I've got such deep insight because I know people more than she knows them. But right now, she's been so used by the government, but they're threatening her as well. They're threatening her, you know, and I know they're going to be really cruel to her because she has made them billions, right? I put everything I could, every single time I learned something for the past 15 years, I told her right away. I said, but, you know, in a mummy and daughter way that she would understand. I could say 3 words to her and it would change her life for 10 years, you know. But they've cut off all communication with us, and what they've done is they've been trying to use her to hurt my other children. Now this is where I'm breaking my heart because they've made her so insecure, right? They've made her so insecure that I feel like if Leonie doesn't have my approval, I can't explain it. If she doesn't have my approval, she loses her breath. So it's almost like, you know, they've made her worry so much about me loving my other children more than I love her that she's become maybe to hate them, you know. And I can't explain to you how hard it is because she is my eldest daughter. We went through so much together and she had to stand by me. She had no choice. She was only a wee baby, you know, but I can't explain it. You know, Leonie, I don't know if you ever get to hear my videos or not. I don't know if anyone does, but, you know, it's choking me. It's literally choking me that I feel like I lost her when she was 2 years old mentally because she was abused by a Jehovah's Witness boy. And I know what abuse does to a little girl, you know, and the ruckus that was caused in my house after it, Jehovah's Witnesses saying it was nothing. It was nothing. But it wasn't nothing. It was rape, you know. It was child molestation. And even though it was a teenage boy that did it, the way they dealt with it, laughing at her and laughing at me. And even when she was born and they pulled us back into the Jehovah's Witnesses, they announced from the platform, if you have a baby out of wedlock, that baby is not allowed to get presents. And there was 3 other babies being born at the time in the congregation, and they were all being gifted presents. And me and Leonie are sitting there. You know, she's a newborn baby, and it was just cutting every day. You know, it's like ever since I had her, they've cut us and cut it and cut it. You know, cut the bond, cut the communication, cut. And then the time that we had on our own in Shields Road, when it was so lovely and, you know, we were all doing our little bit, she was growing up. I was looking to her for wisdom because she was going to school. And she was coming home and acting a bit like she knows something. So I was like listening to her. So, and then she would get a bit lost. She got a bit lost in a relationship with someone, and I would go down